Hello. Hi guys, how you doing? Bye DJT here. Vote blue in every election, state, local, and federal. I apologize. I made a video and I have to redo it. I left out some important information that some of you Trump trolls need to listen to. Now hold on. So I want you to listen to what Trump says, and then I'm going to show you some videos in regards to what he says. Hold on.
Not allowed. We had at least 18,000, that's on tape. We had them counted very painstakingly. 18,000 voters having to do with, she's a vote scammer, a professional vote scammer and hustler. That was the tape that's been shown all over the world that makes everybody look bad. You, me, and everybody else. Where they got number one, they said very clearly, and it's been reported that they said there was a major water main break. Everybody fled the area, and then they came back.
Okay, so he said the beep was Ruby Freeman. Okay, and I'll show you her. And he made a comment about the water main break, and then everybody had to leave that night. Now I'm going to show you the truth about the water break. Hold on. So do you see up there in the video where it says 2020 November 3rd, 5:22 in the morning? All right, hold on. So this is 5:22 in the morning on November 3rd. All right. If you see that sheen on the floor, and I will make this bigger, hold on. That sheen on the floor is water. Okay? Dripping from the ceiling on November 3rd. All right? In the morning, November 3rd at 5:22 in the morning. The woman, Ruby Freeman, in the video that I'll show you, is at 11 o'clock at night, that same day, November 3rd. All right, now hold on. This is at 6:29 in the morning. These guys, those are security. And that guy right there in the jacket on the right-hand side, picking up the hose, is maintenance. They're cleaning up the water. Hold on. So this is the guy at 7:11 in the morning. I just moved up a little bit further. So you can see that the guy on November 3rd, which is right there at the top, right there, November 3rd, same day. I'll bring it up closer. 7-Eleven on November 3rd, cleaning up the water spill that morning. So, Donald Trump lied about the water at night. It was in the morning, 17 hours later than what they're talking about in regards to the Ruby Freeman video. Now let's finish listening to Trump.
Her daughter and a few people. There were no Republican poll watchers. Actually, there were no Democrat poll watchers. I guess they were them. But there were no Democrats either, and there was no law enforcement. Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before the table was put there. I think it was, Brad, you would know, it was probably 8 hours or 7 hours before, and then it was stuffed with votes. They weren't in an official voter box. They were in what looked to be suitcases or trunks, suitcases, but they weren't in voter boxes.
So I want you to look at, it's still the date, November 3rd. It is 10:08 at night. All right? Do you see this table? They're putting totes underneath the table at night. They're filling up the legal ballot holding totes, not luggage, as Donald Trump said. All right? And that was another lie of Donald Trump, but they're putting him underneath the table in front of everybody on camera. Now, hold on. Now, Donald Trump said that there was nobody there. That guy in the red shirt is an election official. So there was somebody there. Yes, there were no reporters. Yes, there were no watchers. But Donald Trump said there was nobody there of a legal capacity. He's a legal capacity. He's a neutral person. He's an overseer also of the election process. So again, Trump lied. So I'm going to start this video in a second, but this is the video that Donald Trump is saying about mass voter fraud and Ruby Freeman. Okay, so hold on for a second here.
After pulling out hidden boxes stuffed with that.
Okay, now hold on. Reason why I stopped that, I want you to look at the time. The time that they're starting this video, that they're starting to talk about, is at 11:09:58. That woman in the purple is Ruby Freeman. Okay? And I want you to pay attention to the time of 11:09, and I'm going to let this run and watch what she does for the amount of time that they talk about her doing ballot scamming.
Ballots, footage analyzed by Gateway Pundit reveals Freeman
apparently scanning the same stack of ballots over and over again. Surveillance cameras show these poll workers watched and waited until the GOP observers and reporters had left the room before they resumed scanning their ballots. These four workers then continued counting uninterrupted for over 3 hours until sometime after 1 in the morning. During this time, Ruby Freeman, as seen here in this video, repeatedly scanned the same batch of ballots at least 3 times, which is highly illegal, and it's all captured on tape.
So, they ended that right there at 11:13:05. All right? So they, for like 90 seconds, scanned that where she stood there at the machine. Now, here's the truth. Again, there's Ruby Freeman in the purple and the election official in the red shirt. Now, hold on. I'm going to start the surveillance video at 11:03. Hold on. So I'm going to start it here as she walks to the desk where she's going to be working. All right? So I want you to see something. She's there. I'm going to make this bigger. Do you see that time? 11:03:43. So she's sitting at the desk at that time, correct? So I'm going to keep that right there. I'm going to keep that large so you can see it, because that's the important part. We already know that her daughter pulled a tote from underneath the table. That was also videotaped that Trump and his people never said anything about. But I want you to pay attention from right now, and I'm going to narrate this. So pay attention. And I want you to look at her head. There's a lower tray right at the middle of her head and an upper tray above her head where the papers will go in. She will put the papers in the lower tray and they will come out the top. Now pay attention real well. And I'm going to take this all the way to 11:17. So I'm going to go 14 minutes. That's supposedly her daughter. I don't know if it is, but we'll just go with it and say it is. I'm going to assume it is. She's sitting there. And you know what's kind of funny? If you look at the girl behind her, how she adjusts the papers before she puts them into the scanner, she does a better job than what Ruby does, because they go through the process one time, As you can see, they're coming out the top over the lady in the middle in the orange shirt. See above her head? They're coming out through the scanner. So she's putting in like a bunch, like 50 of them at a time. So really pay attention to the two people, the total difference. Ruby just had a horrible time with the paper, with the stacks. So go ahead and pay attention. And then the lady in the orange, you'll see that she puts them back in those totes. Okay, so she just put that into the lower tray. She really didn't fumble with the papers, like trying to make them smooth on the edges. But you're going to see that they jam, and I will point that out to you. So she sits down, she presses her computer, her screen, and it starts the machine. Clears it and starts the machine. Also, what will happen is when she goes to get the papers, you'll see that they don't go all through. So she's putting in about 20, 25, 30, but they don't all process through the scanner. Pay attention to that. Look at both trays. See, they're coming out from the top. Her daughter puts some more totes up on top on the table for her to grab more ballots. And if you watch the papers, because they're folded, they don't come out nice and smooth just like a straight piece of paper does. They come out kind of bent, catching on the folds. And again, the lady behind Ruby has a smoother time putting the ballots through than what Ruby does. So the lady in the yellow just finished her batch that we were talking about when we started this. And then she'll put it in her tray. See, the daughter pulls something out and she puts it over on the table. See that? So now it's 11:07. It's already 4 minutes. And look above Ruby's head. You got the lower tray, like in the middle of her scalp, and the top tray above her head, to where they come out. For you people who aren't able to follow along, I have to make this like a child that you guys have to follow. Follow the little dots, people. What's kind of funny is the lady behind her is just looking at her cell phone. So she's just running smooth. So, it looks like that's the first jam. Ruby, yep. Because I don't see any papers coming out above. So Ruby gets up. She looks. She puts them on the table, try to make them smooth on the edges because of the folds in the ballots. It makes it hard to go through the machine, through the rollers. Anybody who's ever worked on a copy machine or a scanner, you should have that type of information in your head. It doesn't have to be spelled out to you like you're a child. But yet things do. The obvious things that you guys just don't want to see. So, Ruby looks at the other tray, make sure that everything's smooth, and the papers were still on the bottom tray. So they didn't even go through yet. It's 11:08:57, going on 11:09. She presses the screen. And if you look, the paper comes out. 1, 2, we can even count them as we go along before there's another jam. But again, the bottom tray are the ballots that are going in to be scanned. The top tray are the ones that have already been scanned and coming out. But again, when you have to put them back in, when they jam, you have to clear the machine to do the tally again. And this takes like 17 minutes for her to do. And she's not even, and the machine's not even accepting all of the ballots. It's only accepting half, and then it jams. So as it's going, it's still scanning, There's still papers on the bottom tray. It's still scanning. And the bottom tray lowered because it jammed. And she has to get up again. See, there's still papers in the bottom tray. Didn't even do a complete scan of all the papers that she has. Now you think if she was going to cheat, you'd be able to see that, wouldn't you guys? Only doing half of what is being put into the bottom tray to be scanned? I mean, my God. So she does it again. She pats them on the table, trying to get them smooth. She's going through the papers, making sure there's no folds, no creases, no folded ballots to where it makes it jam. She's again adjusting it, making sure everything's smooth. Now watch the... No, she's not doing anything yet. I was going to say watch the lady in the yellow, how she handles her ballots. Because she really fixes them really good. Okay, here she goes. So Ruby puts them back in the bottom. She pulls out the top ones, puts them together again so they can be rescanned. See how the lady in the yellow folds her papers longwise to like smoothen it out? Ruby doesn't do that. So the lady in the yellow there has a good routine down on how to make sure that the ballots go through smoothly. Ruby doesn't do that. If she was to do what the lady did in the yellow, she'd be better at processing them through the scanner with less problems with the machine of jamming. So this is now 11:12. So Ruby needs better training. The lady in the yellow is doing really good. And she's just looking at her phone. That's what's funny. She's all cash. Okay, so Ruby puts the papers back in. She puts them back in the lower tray. As you can see, the upper tray it has nothing in there. The lower tray is the one that feeds it into the machine. Ruby presses her screen again. And then above her head, you will see them start spitting out. It is now 11:13. And there they go, starting to spit out again. So far, my video is 19 minutes. And Trump and his lawyers only showed you 90 seconds. 90 seconds. They spliced it together to lie to you. So here it goes. They're scanning. They're scanning. They're scanning. You can see them coming out from the top. You can see the paper moving. So you can see that they're scanning. Still scanning. And yep, still scanning. Still got papers on the lower shelf. You can see them. Maybe this run will go through. Again, my video so far is 20 minutes. Ah, looks like another jam. Looks like another. She gets up. She's going, oh my God. Issues. So again, I started from when she sat down at 11:03. It is now 11:14. I've ran this video, or the surveillance video, is 11 minutes, and Donald Trump only used 90 seconds to lie to you. So here it goes. It is now 11:15. Again, she's going through the paperwork. Do you see how the lady in the back, the yellow, she folds her papers to like smooth them out before she puts them in? So there's another stack. She's really got some good production going on. Now her daughter, Ruby's daughter, comes over, opens up the machine, because there's issues with it. Opens up the machine to clear it. To clear it of the jam. What's going on? Why is it running smoothly? And that's what happens with copier machines. That's what happens with copy and scanning machines. They get jammed. So she closes it. Ruby clears the screen. Picks up the papers that the daughter put onto the chair. She's smoothing out the papers, the edges, to make sure it's smooth again. Checking the corners, checking the folds. And if anybody's ever worked on a copy machine, they know exactly what the hassle is with paper that isn't smooth to put through the feeder of a machine. It just doesn't grab, or it catches through the rollers on the inside. And that's what she's doing. She's checking to make sure everything is smooth. She needs better training, like the lady behind her in the yellow. She has a good process going down. Ruby aligns those. It's 11:17, folks. I started 11:03 from when she sat down. So this is 14 minutes. Of issues. She sits down. Or does she sit down? No, this time she didn't. She just pressed the machine. Now it's running. You know what? We're going to stay until that is finished. Let's see how long that takes. Okay, it's spitting them out. So far, so good. Ruby left to probably go to the bathroom. Machine's still running. Machine's still running. It's now 11:18 going on 11:19. So far I've done 16 minutes of this. Okay, so they're still running. can see them on the top coming out through the chute. Papers will just keep feeding and feeding and feeding. So it looks like her daughter fixed the machine. See, the papers are folding, they're catching on the folds when they come out. That's why they bounce up a little bit, fold up, because they all got creases. So it's feeding, and it looks like the bottom tray should be empty. Yep, the bottom tray is empty. No more feeding. All right. Now hold on. Okay, so Ruby's coming back to her desk. And look at that. The daughter cleared it, and it ran smooth. So one batch of papers she had to take out to adjust. Her daughter comes to clear the machine, and it ran smooth. Now, let's see what she does with that batch. Let's see what she does. I'm going to stay on until she finishes that batch. She's going to write something on a piece of paper like the girl up on top has been doing it. See, Ruby needs more training. That girl on top in the yellow has a set pattern to go on, process of getting these things done right and in an efficient time. Ruby's filling out the paperwork that goes with those ballots that came out of the tray. It is now 11:23. I've ran this video for 21 minutes. $11:23:49 going on 11:24. So from 11:03 to 11:23, 20 minutes so far on one batch of ballots of like 25, 30, maybe 40, who knows? But it's, probably maybe less than 50. It's 11:24. She's writing down on the piece of paper that's going to go with those ballots. So she's asking, what do I write down here? Probably, what do I write? Blah, 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 blah. And she's telling her what she writes. She sits down. Ruby just doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She just needs better training. And Trump called her a scammer. So it looks like the lady helped her out. Because she just looks lost. So I've ran my video for 30 minutes. Ruby goes back to the desk, takes the ballots, come on, Ruby, you're real slow. You're a slow 30 goddamn minutes. 11:03 to 11:26 so far on one batch. Oh man, she's gonna put out a massive amount of fake ballots, huh, guys? Oh my God, this lady. I'd rather say the lady in the OR is a better cheater than what Ruby Freeman is. She's more efficient. Ruby sucks. Ruby's performance on workmanship sucks. So Ruby takes another batch. There we go. But we're going to end that there. All right, guys? Vote blue in every election, state, local, and federal. And again, I've just proved Donald Trump's a liar. Using his videos that he says, and he's not using the correct videos. He's lying to you people. Have a great day.